All right, so now on to the UK, where Queen Elizabeth is still working on light duties, and that is despite testing positive for COVID over the weekend. She's currently at Windsor Castle, and Ian Lee is following the story from there as well. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Emery. Yeah, the palace is saying the Queen is experiencing mild cold-like symptoms, but royal officials seem eager to get across that it's near business as usual.
In true British form, Queen Elizabeth is carrying on with light duties.
It's quite reassuring that we're hearing that she has just mild cold-like symptoms, but it is still too early to say. Many people do progress to more serious symptoms after a week or so into illness.
I'm here.
Last week, the Queen met with members of the military, keeping her walking stick close by.
How are you? Well, as you can see, I can't move.
Just weeks ago, Prince Charles and his wife Camilla came down with the virus. He's now back at work. While it's unclear how the Queen caught it, she's believed to be triple vaccinated and has a team of top doctors looking after her.
I would be monitoring her temperature, her respiratory rate, her oxygen levels to see if she was progressing towards severe disease.
Thank you very much indeed.
Queen Elizabeth is currently celebrating her Platinum Jubilee, marking 70 years on the throne. But it hasn't all been cake, as her COVID diagnosis capped off a stressful week for the royal family. Prince Andrew settled a sexual assault lawsuit with Virginia Giuffre for an undisclosed amount. And now British police are investigating Prince Charles' charity for allegedly offering royal favors in exchange for donations. There's also been speculation about the Queen's health. Last October, she spent a night at a hospital in London for an undisclosed condition. Her doctors told her at the time to rest and slow down.
Windsor Castle was the Queen's fortress of solitude during the pandemic, but as restrictions eased, and even today we're expecting the Prime Minister to lift restrictions in England, we are learning the Queen is just one of a larger outbreak of COVID cases among her staff. Anne-Marie?
Ian, it almost looks like the weather is reflecting the Queen's condition. You know, it looks a little overcast and chilly there. Listen, you mentioned this thing about lifting that this week the requirement for self-isolation is likely to be dropped this week. What are overall attitudes there about the virus?
Yeah, when you talk to people, a lot of us, and I think a lot of people watching, are ready for this to be over. A lot of people are ready to get rid of these restrictions, get rid of the masks, get back to life as normal as it can be. But there are some people, especially in the medical community, who are saying, well, pump the brakes, don't jump the gun on this, that we are doing well, but we don't want to do anything that could see cases rise. And they're especially worried about people who are particularly vulnerable against the disease, people who have immunocompromised systems that could catch it easier. So there is a lot of that going on right now. But just talking to folks around here, people are ready to go back to normal life.
I can imagine. So I know how those local papers and tabloids love an explosive headline like the Queen tests positive. I'm wondering if there's any speculation among the press about whether or not Charles and Camilla may be stepping in. I know they had their own positive diagnosis recently as well.
Yeah, they tested positive a couple weeks ago, at least Prince Charles did, and about 6 days ago when Camilla, his wife, tested positive. Yeah, and they love speculation about what's going to happen, the play-by-play, and that's because the palace never gives us any kind of that play-by-play. But, Prince Charles has stepped in before for the Queen. Other members of the royal family in other functions have stepped in to represent her. So, the one thing I guess you can say about a monarchy, if you want to say it's a good thing, is that there's always a number two ready to step in. But we haven't heard anything in terms of Prince Charles, taking over for the Queen. The Queen seems to be still quite at work. Yesterday, she congratulated the Team GB's curling team. The women won gold, the men won silver. So it seems like she's still very active, even though she is self-isolating. And as the doctors told her, take it easy.
Indeed. Ian, thank you very much.